Hello, my beautiful plant people. It's Valerie from Terracotta Treasures. Welcome back to my channel. So, I've been seeing a lot of these all one color challenges recently, to where it's like, I only ate red food for 24 hours, or I only ate green food for 24 hours. And then I saw something a little bit different. I have a YouTuber that I follow, Planet Fishness, and she's pretty cool. You should check her out. But I saw that she did an all blue tank and an all orange setup of a tank. And both of those were really cool, and I thought that that was just a cool little different spin on it. So I thought maybe I would put a little bit of my own spin on it and do it with plant. So as you can see from the title, today's pink. And yes, pink plants are a thing. They do exist. They're incredible, they're wonderful, they're absolutely gorgeous. And I figured also because it's October and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month and pink is that color, why not? And I am fortunate enough to not have had or known anybody who had to have to go through this. But I just want to take a quick minute to give my fullest support and sympathy and love to anyone who has or known anybody who has gone through breast cancer and is a survivor or didn't win that fight. I just want to give my support for that for just a quick second. But let's look at some of these pink beautiful plants. So these are not in any particular order, I'm just kind of naming them off. But first on my list is the Anthurium. It's also known as the lace leaf or the flamingo flower. And it is a gorgeous flowering leaf, really. It has beautiful green foliage and then it flowers, but the flower almost looks like a painted leaf. And it's absolutely gorgeous, and it can flower all year if it's in the right conditions. It loves bright light, and it likes to be kept moist and warm, and it does like humidity. Second on my list is the tricolor wandering Jew, or Tradescantia fluminesis, and this is a beautiful vining plant. It grows very quickly and it needs bright filtered light to keep that color, to keep the variegation on the leaves and keep that pink. And it does like to be kept moist, and I like to water this from the bottom because it is mildly prone to stem rot, but that's just my preference. I find that that helps for me to have a little bit less issues. And if you propagate it often, it will branch more, it'll encourage branching, it'll encourage your plant to be more full. And in some countries, this plant is actually considered invasive because of how easily it propagates, but we put it in pots and we love it. So I don't know, but I love Tradescantia, and I think that it's my number one recommendation in this list, to be honest. But I will move on. So number 3 on my list is the polka dot plant, or the Hypostis philostacea. I hope I said that right, but it is known for its bright, unmistakable foliage. It is very pink and green, and hence the polka dot, the pink polka dots on there. And it is not very difficult to grow. It likes to be in bright indirect sunlight. It can also be in bright direct light, but not for very long. If it is going to be outside, I would put it in a more shaded area or on a porch. And it does like to be kept moist. If you're in a drier climate, maybe misting it would be pretty beneficial to this guy. And during its growing season, I like to do every other watering fertilization. And I just use regular the spritz-in fertilizer that you can buy at Lowe's or Walmart or wherever. I don't do anything special or crazy. The only drawback to this plant is its longevity. It unfortunately does not last very long. It lasts normally a season, maybe 2. So the good thing about that is, though, you can propagate them very easily and just kind of start over. They just won't get very big, but you'll have them forever if you keep propagating them. Number 5 is the Strawman Angwin. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering these guys. I'm trying here, but it's more commonly known the tricolor trio star, and it likes to be in a shaded area outdoors or in bright indirect light. It loves humidity, and because of this combination, if you have a bathroom window, it'll actually live its best life there. It sounds weird, but they love to be in bathroom windows. So that's the best advice I have on that one. And also allow it to dry out in between waterings, especially if you do have it in a humid area, because it'll have more access to moisture. Just let it dry out a little bit more than you normally would. Number 6 on my list is the Pink Dalmatian Chinese Evergreen, and it is an absolutely beautiful, stunning plant, guys. That foliage, oh my god. It loves bright indirect light. That's optimal for it, actually, and direct light will scorch the leaves. This plant definitely tolerates low light. Just in those conditions, the pink will start to fade. As with any variegated plant, the more sun you give it, the more color will be there, the more vibrant it'll be, but it'll have no problem surviving in a low light condition. The temperature, they like to be at 60 to 70 degrees, so if you're keeping this outside, I would definitely bring it in for the winter if you want it to last. And during the growing season, try to keep it moist but not soggy, and then draw back that water as you're starting to bring it in over the winter, or even if you have it inside, just to let it go through a dormant period. But I would fertilize it monthly also in the growing season, indoors or out. Other than that, it is gorgeous to look at, and it is mildly toxic also as well. Not fatal or anything, but again, if you have little ones or pets, just keep it up. Number 7 on my list is the pink angel nerve plant. It is a beautiful dark green foliage with bright pink veins, and it's a very easy plant to care for. It requires medium to low light, and it doesn't like a lot of heat. A north-facing window is usually the best spot for this guy, and keeping it moderately moist during growing season is highly recommended. Never keep it soggy though, and it likes to be fertilized monthly during that period of time, and it should never be kept lower than 70, maybe 65. Number 8 on my list is the ruby rubber plant, Ficus elastica, and it requires a little more light than the traditional rubber plant, just to keep that tricolor variegation, that bright color to it. Of course, with all variegation, bright light equals bright colors, of course, and it does not like to be in direct sunlight. It likes to be kept lightly moist, but also let it dry slightly in between waterings, and they are very sensitive to drafts, so I wouldn't recommend keeping it near a window that is open a lot, or a fan or air conditioner or furnace or whatever have you, where the temperature is going to fluctuate. Number 9 is the pink variegated Croton, and it has a very similar care to all other Crotons. It needs bright indirect light to keep its color. It tolerates direct sun. It actually enjoys to have quite a bit of direct sun if possible. If not, a lot of bright indirect light is needed. It likes to be kept moist, and it loves humidity, and it doesn't do well with temperature changes or extreme heat or extreme cold. So that is one factor that does make it a good house plant. So there are 1,000 at least known varieties of Peperomia, but a lot of them are very different, and I'm going to show that in the next two, because number 10 and 11 are actually both different varieties of peperomia that are quite different. So number 10 is the Peperomia Pink Lady, and it has heart-shaped, deep rippled leaves with splashes of beautiful pink. It loves bright and direct light. It does not like direct light, and it stores water in its leaves, so let it completely dry before watering. This is one of the most beautiful peperomias, except number 11, Peperomia Ginny, which is actually, unfortunately, I gotta give it my favorite spot. I know you can't have favorites with your children, but the Ginny is my favorite peperomia. It has very similar care to the Peperomia Pink Lady. It's a little bit more succulent-like, so definitely let this one dry out a little more in between waterings. But it is absolutely beautiful, beautiful plant. Number 12 on my list is the Variegated String of Hearts. This is easily my favorite pink houseplant, guys. This has been on my wish list for a very long time. I also want the non-variegated version, but the variegated version is pink. So the Variegated String of Hearts is a beautiful trailing string of pink hearts, basically. And it loves bright and direct light and needed to keep that variegation. And it doesn't like direct light, but it does love heat. It likes to be at around 80 to 85 degrees. And the lowest that it can really go is 60 in winter, but you want to shy away from getting it to be that low. And it is considered a succulent, so I would only water this when it does dry out, but don't let it get too dry. It also doesn't really like to tolerate fertilizer a lot, so very rarely I would fertilize this, but gorgeous, gorgeous pink plant. Alright guys, we are almost done. Last but very not least, number 13, we have the Croton Pink Passion. And for whatever reason, there are tons and tons of common names, but Cabbage Tree seemed to pop up a little bit more than all the rest of the million ones when I was doing my research. But this particular plant needs bright light and avoid direct sunlight. The green leaf variety can handle direct sunlight, but the pink variegated version cannot. It can only handle indirect filtered sunlight. And this plant actually needs a rich, well-draining, high-quality soil mix. And it prefers a pH of 6 to 6.5, so it is a little bit more of a finicky plant. And the soil should be kept moist. It prefers high humidity and a fairly high temperature. I think that is all that I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see similar plant content. I am trying to get my schedule down of being able to post more and stop being so lazy and get these videos out. But definitely hit that subscribe button. Comment your favorite pink plant, whether it be from this list or something that I didn't mention. What is your favorite pink plant? And also comment if you'd like to see any other colors. I might do this with some other colored plants, or if you have any other ideas, feel free to leave a comment. I hope you guys have a great day, and goodbye, my beautiful plant people. See you soon.